This month on the Savvy Scrapbookers, we take on Painted Garden. I love this collection and its beautiful colors. Donna Guest here, the Lazy Scrapbooker and Creative Memories Advisor. Here are the tools we'll need to complete these pages. Your 12-inch trimmer, tape runner, I'm using both regular and repositionable, the Floral Peaks border punch, and I have added for my pages because it goes with the subject matter, the new Trail Signs punch and the dual tip pen in brown. And for the papers and stickers, here's what I got when we divided them up. I've got this one piece of paper with the flowers on the one side and the dark green on the other. I've got the dandelion page, and I didn't even consider using this other side because I wanted to use the dandelions. Then I've got this page with green, it looks like little birds there. The other side is the darker green, but I'm using this side. And then finally, my favorite, I've got this beautiful orange page with, or peach, I guess, with the flowers, and then you've got the multicolored flowers on the other side. For stickers, these are the ones I chose, and I feel really guilty because I chose all the bees. Watch as I unknowingly steal all of these bee stickers from the sweetest bee lover, Debbie. I do love a good bee, so I got all the bees. I later learned that bees are like Debbie's favorite thing, and I still feel terrible, so I'd better put these bees to good use. And finally, I just chose a scrap of a light brown cardstock for when I use the trail sign punch. I wanted it light enough to write on, but dark enough to look like wood. First, here's what I'm using as my background pages. The dandelions and then the light green with the bird patterns on it. There is no wrong way to scrapbook, of course, but here's why I chose these papers as my background pages. The colors in our photos are so bold and dark, so I thought the white background would be good, and I just couldn't imagine not using those dandelions. I like simple and fast pages, and that is what I'm going for with these. Let's see how quickly we can get this done. So I'm going to take this beautiful sheet that I think looks great with this green, and I'm going to cut off a big chunk of 5.5 inches. And that's going to leave us a lot of room over here to use these for something else. So now I'm just going to attach this over here, leaving about a 1/2 inch on the right-hand side. And super simple, I'm going to take the 2 border stickers that I chose, which are these really beautiful leaves. Careful not to break them apart as I remove them. And let's go ahead and attach them here. And I'm just centering them along the edge of this paper so it makes a perfect border. And you have to be careful because once they stick, they are stuck. All right, let's do the other one. And again, centering it along with the stem of the leaves along the edge of my paper. Okay, I like it so far. Next, I'm going to set these to the side, and now we get to have some fun with the Floral Peaks border punch. So for the papers I have left over, I'm going to flip it over and use the dark green here because I think it will stand out more when I use this punch. Okay, let's start with the dark green. And when we're doing a border punch, we always want to start with this black line here to get the pattern that we see there. So I'll press it in there, always pushing it against the back ledge here, and then press down. And if it's an intricate pattern, which I consider this an intricate pattern, it's best to pull it out and then reinsert it. If you try to slide it across, it could get stuck and jammed, and that won't be fun for anyone. All right, so this one has got what I call a little vampire tooth. It's like a little tooth that comes down. And what you can do, let me show you here on the white so you can see it. See that tiny little indentation or the little tooth that comes down right there? That helps you line it up. Not all of them have that, but it does show up when there's a punch where the pattern is really repetitive like this. So it helps you line it up correctly so that you don't miss a punch or punch something twice. Okay, 6 punches and I'm done. Now for this measurement, we're going to trim this off at 1.5 inch from the highest peak. So I've got it over here at 1.5 inches. And we'll trim. Okay, now we're going to do sort of the same thing with our beautiful orange color. I don't know what the color is of this. I call it orange, and I think it's something prettier than that. Now, we're going to line this up a little bit differently. I don't want the identical pattern to be right behind it. Now, I could, but because this is 2 identical patterns, on each side, I would come up with the same thing. So I've really, instead of starting over here with my black line, which starts at right here, I'm going to start it kind of right here, just so I have a little bit of variation. I don't want to start here in the middle. It'd be the same thing. I'm going to start right here. So to do that, I'm just going to kind of eyeball and make sure the edge of my paper, and I can use a straight edge if I need to, comes down through the middle of that. Let's put a ruler here and I can see. That looks pretty good. Okay. And punch. Okay, there we go. And it accomplished what I wanted it to. It came right through the middle of that. It's not perfectly through the center, but it will be off center a bit, which is what I wanted. Now I'm going to finish out the rest of this punch. And see, we think we're done because we've punched it 6 times, but because I started short on purpose, I've got to go one more time. And being really careful to hold it, pressing it against the back edge of the punch. Now this one's going to go in the back, so I'm going to make it a bit longer. We're going to have to do it this way because I want to trim this at 2 inches from the highest peak. So I've got it over here at 2 inches, and we'll trim that. Okay, now this is very simple. We're just going to attach it to the paper on the left-hand side here. So I'm just using my regular tape runner here. That's pretty bold. I'll be using my Repositionable the whole thing because you know I'm going to make a mistake. So I better not. All right, lining it up carefully here at the edge. Better not make a mistake. There we go. Perfect. And now I'm going to add this one, and I'm using the Repositionable. Also attaching this one to the edge. So now we see they're a little bit off, just a little bit different. That gives you a nice look there. Okay, so there are my papers with the main part of my design, and that's pretty much it for all the cutting. So we've got a double border over here, and then we've got a nice large wide border over here that we can put photos inside of. So that's about as simple as we can get. Well, not really. I can do a lot more simple than this, of course. I am the Lazy Scrapbooker. So now we're going to start placing the photos. My idea for this is I wanted to get as many photos on the page as possible because I have a lot of them and I want to do as many as I could. So let's start placing these around. So I like the way these photos look. I've got room for embellishment clusters here, here, and here. So it's a nice triangle, which looks very good. I did not leave myself enough room for journaling, and I have an extra photo. So let's add more real estate to the page with a Peekaboo Pocket. Now, these are sold in packs of 10 usually. This is the 4x6 size. There's also 5x7 and 6x12. So I'm going to use this 4x6 that fits my photo. And you always want to have the top, the top facing up is the part with the open side because your adhesive is back here. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick this photo into the pocket and know that it's going to go right here. Now, I don't stick this directly on my scrapbook paper. I'm going to stick this on top of the page protector. So we'll see this through all the way to the page protector when I'm done. I'm going to put this aside for right now, but I will add a journaling box here. So we'll come back to that. Now, I'm going to use these beautiful papers that I have left over to create some photo mats. I like a skinny mat of 1/8 of an inch. So most of my pictures are a full 6x4. So for that, I'll need a 6 1/4 by a 4 1/4. I'm not going to mat every photo, just some. And then some of my pictures are the digital size. You can see they're a little bit shorter. And you know, who knows what the exact measurement is of a digital size photo? It's like 4 by 5 point something, and I can never remember it. So I'm just going to have to kind of eyeball those, and that will be fine. So let's start making some mats. I'm going to use this color to mat this photo and this photo. They are both perfect 4x6, so I know exactly the measurement I'll need. So I won't be able to go long ways because I'm going to need it to be a little bit longer than that. So let's go this way. And that will keep the pattern going the right way. Not that you'll see much of the pattern. So I want it 6 1/4 inch wide. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut all the way down. And now I want both of them 4 1/4 inch tall. Now I'm going to mat these two with the other side of this, the dark green. So I know I want them 4 1/4 inch wide. That's easy enough. And here's a nice perk of them being that digital size. I have enough room to do 2 in a column that's 12 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead. Why don't I just go ahead and put a little bit of tape, because you know what? I always end up wanting to move it around after I cut the mat. So I'm just going to put a little bit of repositionable there and measure this. So the bottom of my photo comes to the edge of that gray mat, and because my cutting line is here, 1/8 inch away. I've screwed that up before and cut it even with a photo. What's worse if you cut it into your photo? I have not done that. It could happen though. Look at this amazing photo. That is a tree. This is in Greenville, South Carolina. It is a tree with all the roots, or most of the roots, exposed. It was really something to see. Quite amazing. And now while I've got my trimmer out, I'm going to cut off the other side here for my journaling box. And I want to go with the pattern. And since this is a vertical paper, I'm going to cut it this way. It's exactly 4 by 6 though. So I'm going to cut it exactly right. So when I flip this up, it's going to look like that. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that. But you know what? I won't do it yet because I'm going to add some journaling paper on it. So I've done all my cuts. This is exactly what I have left over from my 4 sheets of paper. So we just about used it all. And I've got a few little scraps I'm going to save. All right, now I'm going to start attaching my photos on the page. You know what? I better use this repositionable because who knows? Okay, you can certainly arrange your photos however you like and whatever sizes you like. This is just what worked for mine. But this design that I've done is so simple. You can do any number of combinations for your photos. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these down. Now, let's go ahead and cut out that journaling box there. Have you guys ever used this? The lined paper that comes in 12 by 12. Creative Memories has it in white and in natural. I like it because it's designer paper, so it's really thin. And on the other side, it's just plain white if you ever need some white paper. So I'm going to cut this to fit this journaling box. Now, it's 4 by 6, so I want to show a good bit of that beautiful paper around it. So let's show 1/4 inch. So I need to subtract 1/4 and 1/4. That's a half from each side. So that will be, instead of a 6 by 4, it's going to be a 5.5 by a 3.5. And of course, I'm going vertical. So we go out here to 5.5, which is at the edge of our trimmer. Oops, no, I'm going 3.5 width. 3.5. Down to 5.5. Then we go out to the edge of our trimmer because it's going to be 5.5 inches long. Great. And now I've just added more real estate to my page with this journaling box. I'll set that aside so I can do my journaling in a moment. Now, when we're placing this on the paper, you don't want to put this one over here too close to the top. And here's why. I'm going to attach this Peekaboo Pocket to my page protector, but I've got to have enough room up here to attach it. It's got to go to the edge there. So, and you don't want it hanging off the edge. So I'm going to attach it. I'm not attaching it. I'm just holding it there, right there. And this one is going to go underneath it so that when I raise it, I see another photo and I see my journaling box up here. Okay, so let me do that again. I'm going to go ahead and attach this photo down. Have that done with. So let me put this one into place. And I'm leaving enough room here and here and here for my embellishment clusters. And let's see, can I do this without it going into my pattern? Yeah, like that. Okay, so I'm going to hold this one steady and straight. And then we're going to put this one down. Love it. All right, let's finish this up. Oh, and I almost forgot this adorable punch that I'm going to use. This is the Trail Sign Punch. It came out with a Setup Camp bundle, that collection, and it sold out in about 8.5 hours. So that was a really popular one earlier this month. And I'm going to date myself when I say this, but this one, they are going to produce some more and they'll be available in the summer of 2023. But they're asking people to get their orders in now. And so you have until April 28th, 2023 at 1 p.m. Eastern time to order one of these on the website. It basically puts in a pre-order. You pay now and then you're going to get it later. So that's how they're doing it, to know that they produce the right amount for that second run of these. So if you love it, you have until April 28th, 2023 around lunchtime to make that decision. Okay, so I chose this light brown so I could write on it, but it still looks like wood. And I'm just going to use it as the directional sign that it is right here and point this way and that way. So I've written Falls Park going this way and West End going this way, which is descriptive of the two photos when we were touring around the city. And now I'll take this moment to journal, but I'll do it quickly. So see what I did there? I left a little space here in the corner that I'm going to fill in with a sticker. And a bee. And now I'm going to put this in the Peekaboo Pocket. Okay, it's going to go. I have to do this every time. I have to figure out which way to do it. Here we go. And it's like adding 2 extra photos to your page. So again, we'll put this to the side because we're going to attach it to our page protector. But now the fun part, I get to add all the embellishments. I swear I had 3 ladybugs. They are somewhere here. I'm going to find them once I clean up for sure. They're probably on the floor somewhere. And when I find them, I'll add a few more there. Because these are glossy photo prints, I'm going to just rub them off with the Creative Memories photo polishing cloth, which we do have available now. And then I'm going to show you how to attach this. Whether you like to use Creative Memories traditional album pages, or if you use our top-loading pocket pages, you can attach a Peekaboo Pocket to the front of it. Now I use a traditional page, so I'm going to attach the designer paper we've just completed to my traditional page here. And even though I'm not done with the other side, let's go ahead and attach this page protector so you can see how this works. I once did a poll with other advisors for a fun game at a retreat. What is your least favorite part about scrapbooking? And putting on page protectors came in second right after cleaning up. I don't know though, I like putting on page protectors because it is that feeling of being finished, even though I'm not finished. Okay, so I put this in carefully with the opening in the front because on the other side is my adhesive. So I'm going to pull that off, and these are super easy to use. And the great thing is if you make a mistake and put it in the wrong place, you can easily lift it up and do it again. You get a do-over. Okay, so I'm just going to center it here. This one's pretty simple though. And then press and push that in. Okay, there we go. And look, now we can open this and we've got another photo and journaling. I hope you like this simple page layout using Painted Garden. It would be an easy one to try with any collection. Now head over to Debbie and Nicole's videos to get ideas for your remaining pages as we use up this paper pack and sticker pack. You'll find the links to their videos in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. And yep, that's me as a bee.